कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service, Shloka number 17. Shinvatam Svakatha Krishna Punyashravana Kirtanaha Hridyantasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam. Okay, Shinvatam, those who have developed the urge to hear the message of Swakataha, his own words, Krishna, the personality of Godhead, Punya, virtuous, Shravana, hearing, Kirtanaha, chanting, Hridi Antastha, within one's heart, he, certainly, Abhadrani, desire to enjoy matter, Vidunoti, cleanses, Suhrit, benefactor, Satam, of truthful. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Messages of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna are non-different from him. Whenever therefore offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is to be understood that Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as the Lord personally. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshashtaka declares clearly that the holy name of Lord has all potencies of the Lord, and that he has endowed his innumerable names with the same potency. There is no rigid fixture of time, and anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his convenience. The Lord is so kind to us that he can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound, but unfortunately we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. We have already discussed developing a taste for hearing and chanting the holy sound. It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotees of the Lord. The Lord is reciprocally respondent to his devotees. When he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance into the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that the devotee may easily go back to him. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead, but anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps them in all respects. One cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly cleared of all sins. The material sins are products of our desires to lord it over material nature. It is very difficult to get rid of such desires. Women and wealth are very difficult problems for the devotees making progress on the path back to Godhead. Many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. But when one is helped by the Lord Himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the virtue of grace of the Lord. To become restless in contact of women and wealth is not an astonishment, because every living being is associated with such things from remote time, practically immemorial, and it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. But if one is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, Gradually, he realizes his real position by the grace of the Lord. Such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbances, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from his mind. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is a very famous, important, highly quoted shloka. So, like the previous shloka, it actually talks about, O twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva. So, this is how the Sukruti actually gets developed. When a conditioned living entity, which like Prahlad Maharaj actually mentions, when his father asks the question that who did किसने तुम्हारा दिमाग खराब किया so like but then so I was just analyzing the two questions that was asked by, one is by Shanda Namarka and another is by Hiranyakashipu. So like both of them were asking this thing like, no, how did you become deviant? No, how did, no, who spoiled your head and things like that. And first of all, Prahlad Maharaj repairs the question. No, first of all, I am not deviant. And so, mera dimag saaf hai, tumhara dimag kharab ho gaya. So, like, no, first of all, he repairs the question and then he answers that he, like, it's only, when Shanda Namarka asks, so then he mentions that it is only by the grace of Vishnu. Somebody can actually become attached to the lotus feet of the Lord. So it is not by like any other means. And when Hiranyakashipu asked the question, so he mentions that Matirna Krishna Parata Swatova Mitobi Patyeta Graha Vratanam. So he mentions that, so Parataha and Swataha, like not by external endeavor, once by one's own endeavor or by any other external influence, you can become Krishna conscious. It is not possible. And for a materialistic person, like by any endeavor, by any permutation combination, by any inky pinky punky, like he cannot become Krishna conscious. It is not possible at all. He can at max only do like chewing the same thing which is chewed, like the material happiness. And then he mentions Nate vidu svartakatim hi Vishnu. So like people don't even know that their real self-interest is Vishnu, and then they go on in this material pursuits. And then he mentions that Naisham, what is that third shloka? That only, no? Naisham matasthavaduru kramangam sprshat. So, okay. So that second line, anybody knows clearly? So in third line he says that Mahiyasham Padarajobhishekam Nishkinchananam Navrinitayavad. So he says that until unless one gets the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, that means to either to serve him or to hear his instructions and follow in some way, like he should come in contact with a person who is like Nishkinchana, he is mentioned like who is not having any attachment to the material things. And here also it is mentioned that freed from all vices. So like such a person, when we come in contact with and when we render some service, so there is a great service done. Like we see that when we take books and go out, and if somebody even acknowledges, or somebody even purchases a book and things like that, so it is a great service done to Srila Prabhupada. He doesn't know that he is coming in contact with such a great personality as Srila Prabhupada. So but then a great service is done, and that can actually bring about the his sukruti for getting attraction to hear about Krishna. So this is a very a nice this one. So like when great personalities are coming to this world, so this is for this purpose, to create sukruti in the life of people, so that they can become attracted to hearing the message of Vasudev. And in today's shloka, we see that Shranvatam Swakatha Krishna. So like when somebody hears like Krishna's katha, and then Punya Shravana Kirtana, so that is like very, very spiritually like rewarding, like Shravana and Kirtana it is. And what does it happen? Hridyantastohi abhadrani vidunoti surutsatam. So the process of cleansing the heart starts in this one. And Krishna personally, he enters the heart and he cleanses the heart. So now like it is, Srila Prabhupada actually focuses on the aspect of Shranvatam. So hearing must be undertaken without offenses. Offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken. It is to be understood Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental song. So now like the process of hearing or the process of chanting, so both of them have this any of the process of devotional service for that matter. So when it is free from offenses, it manifests the Supreme Lord in a full way. So when it is aparadha yukta, it is along with aparadha. So then what happens? The manifestation of Krishna is limited. So Krishna is not manifested fully. So that is why niraparad bhajan is like very, very important aspect. So that is why when the holy name is given at the time of initiation, so like it is the spiritual master gives the holy name, and along with that, he also says that you should avoid sinful activities and you should avoid offenses. That is when this holy name will produce its effect. So when a person is too much attached to material things, or like he commits offenses, so then the bhajan will not produce its result. Like we have that famous shloka from Chaitanya Leela, like that is Bahu Janma Kari Yadi Shravana Kirtan Tabuna Paibe Shri Krishna Charan. So like it is not Shravana and Kirtana or devotional service alone is not all in all. So it has to be accompanied with the proper etiquette and avoidance of offenses. So that is very, very essential. So that is why whenever there is a this one glorification of the process of devotional service, Shravanam and Kirtanam, so then immediately the another important subject that has been touched upon is offenseless, this one. And we see that a book on the glorification of holy name, Harinam Chintamani. So like one would expect, all the wonderful glories of the holy name is mentioned. So of course it is mentioned, but then 90% of the book deals with only offenses, how to avoid the offenses. So because if we can avoid the offenses and come in contact with the transcendental subject, then definitely we have to be attracted. So like it is mentioned that Krishna is all attractive, and holy name is non-different from Krishna. And then how is that we are chanting and we are not getting attracted? So like then it must be like Krishna is not all attractive. We should hence the proof. I am sitting and chanting and I am not getting attracted. So that means Krishna is not attractive. So either Krishna is not attractive, Krishna is not all attractive, or I have not invoked Krishna. Krishna was not present. So then it is fine. Okay, like no, if Krishna was present and still I was not attracted, so then there is no, then it is no, we can say that no, Krishna is not all attractive. So, but then if Krishna is not present only, then it is okay. No, so then that is a point. So, like which no, the acharyas actually bring about. Even no, we often discuss about the stanza, second stanza of Sikshashtakam, where Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling Durdaivam Hajani Nanuraga. So I am not able to develop attraction to the holy name. No, this is unfortunate situation. And what is this unfortunate situation? The unfortunate situation is I am not able to avoid offenses. No, that is the unfortunate situation. So if the offenses are avoided, so then the Lord will manifest no fully. No, so here again we'll read this one. The messages of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna are non-different from him. Whenever, therefore, offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is to be understood Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as the Lord personally. Right? So, if the Lord were to be present personally, so then the Lord is all attractive. No, just like I always remember this one. Purport of Srila Prabhupada, which long back I read. Now I'm not able to trace it back, where I read. So, like if devotees can help me find that, that will be great. So, in one place, Srila Prabhupada actually writes that, when we are able to chant properly, offenselessly, so it actually, the Lord actually personally gets manifested, and the effect of Lord's manifestation is your eyes will be fully satisfied, your tongue will be fully satisfied, your nose will be fully satisfied, your ears will be fully satisfied, and your sense of touch or skin will also be fully satisfied. So that means it is wholesome, this one. So one may say, okay, I'm just rotating the beads and I'm chanting and hearing. So like, okay, touch and my tongue and ear, all these things will be satisfied. How will the eyes be satisfied? How will the nose be satisfied? So because Krishna is personally getting manifested there, and nobody can gratify the senses as much as Krishna can, and as much as we can engage in Krishna's service. So we should not be in the mood of, okay, like I need the best form of sense gratification, so I'll invoke Krishna. So that is Kubja mentality, So that should not be there. So we should invoke Krishna for the sake of rendering service to him. Of course, only when we are in the mood of rendering service to him, Krishna will get manifested. So it's a foolproof system. So like it is quite difficult to be there in the position of Kubja. Like she was wanting sense gratification and Krishna was available. So, but then Krishna will not be available for a long time with such a devotee. And so even if he were to be available for some time, so like we have to be in the mood of service. And in the mood of service, when we approach the Lord, and if the Lord were to be manifest in that place, so then immediately all the senses will become completely satisfied. So this is one nice purport somewhere in Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada writes this. So then it is not exactly the same what I mentioned. So this is what is the remembrance that I have from the purport that I read. So in this way, like the offenseless chanting, the Shranvatam, so like it is very, very important. And then next is, okay, so we'll read the purport a little bit. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshashtaka declares clearly that holy name of the Lord has all potencies of the Lord, and that he has endowed his innumerable names with the same potency. There is no rigid fixture of time, and anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his convenience. The Lord is so kind to us that he can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. But unfortunately, we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. We have already discussing developing taste for hearing and chanting the holy name, the holy sound. It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotees. Okay, so now the next aspect that comes is Swakatha. Like what is this Swakatha? So like what is Swa means one's own, like Krishna's own Katha. So like then what is what is this? Then the definition of Krishna. Who is Krishna? So Krishna is definitely like the person. Krishna is Krishna, and all his energies are also simultaneously one and different from him. And in that way, like Krishna's very dear paraphernalias, like his dear associates, who are there. So they are, like hearing the glories of them. So the great acharyas and then the great associates of the Lord and things like that. And then also like hearing about the Lord's no further expansions, like the Vaikuntha expansions, and hearing about the Lord's creation of the material universe and managing of the material universe and things like that. So all of it is Krishna Katha, right? So all of it is Swakatha. So like Srimad Bhagavatam has the compilation of all of them. So like Lord's activities, his Leela in the material world and his Leela in the spiritual world. So his Leela in the material world is creation, maintenance and destruction, and the Leela in the spiritual world is his association with, or his interaction with his devotees. So in this way, like all these things are pertaining to the Swakatha, and also the messages about the missionary activities. Even that also is Swakatha. So now we see that the spiritual masters are the in charges of various regions. They are very eager to hear about the report, preaching report of what is the preaching report happening in this particular area. So that is also like Krishna Katha, Krishna's glories. That is how the mission of the Lord is progressing, how the mission of the Lord is like being enacted. So that is also like current pastimes of the Lord. So like that is why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, once he was asked that like you're printing what is it, weekly, what is that, this one, Sajjan Toshini, it was weekly or monthly or daily? Daily patrika, na. So then somebody asked that, like how will you get so much of information? And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was telling ki like no, spiritual world, like material world is just like a small thing, one third, what is that, ekapada vibhuti, and then spiritual world is tripada vibhuti, that is the 3/4 of the Lord's creation. So like if 1/4 of Lord's creation can produce so much of social media news and this, that, and all, so much of YouTube videos and stuff like that, how much more the Tripada Vibhuti should produce, So the Lord's pastimes happen here as well. So in the form of book distribution, in the form of preaching, and in the form of like missionary activities. So that is also Swakatha. And so like one should hear these subject matters which are in relation to Krishna, so without committing offenses. And then when such hearing is undertaken, it is punya shravana kirtana. It is very, very greatly beneficial. So the Lord is reciprocally respondent to his devotees. When he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance into the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that the devotee may easily go back to him. So here we see that the goal is also very, very important. So here it's mentioned the Lord is reciprocally respondent to his devotees. So when he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance into the transcendental service of the Lord. So like if a devotee is mechanically performing devotional service, so that means what? He doesn't have the like sight of the goal. He is not very much eager to attain the goal. So like why the mechanical practice of Krishna consciousness happens? So like either the devotee has taken that key like intense absorption and things like that and all, hone wala nahi hai, choda bhai, like to holy name bhi kabhi sunne ke liye nahi milega. So it is like it is taken for granted ki humse nahi ho payega. So like abhi devotee ban gaye, like everybody knows that I am a devotee, aur 16 mala nahi ghumayenge to like it will be a problem, just to maintain the social status, like kuch to ghuma denge. And then कोई पूछा तो like प्रभु जी ऐसा करके क्या होने वाला है आपका? अरे ये बुक नहीं पढ़ा, like बैक टू गॉड जाने वाला है. अरे बैक टू गॉड तो कभी नहीं होने वाला है उनको. So because Like if a person is going to go back to Godhead, his intense attachment to the goal is very, very essential. So like that is very nicely clarified in this particular line. No, Srila Prabhupada writes, when he sees that, so when the Lord sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord. So it is not that he like somewhat he is just somehow or other doing devotional service. So if that is the case, this is also another big misconception devotees have. Anybody who chants the names of the Lord is a devotee. Anybody who reads scripture is a devotee, and things like that. First, let me discuss about an extreme case. Extreme case is like when Hiranyaksha dies, so at the time Hiranyaksha is killed by Varahadev. So at the time Hiranyakashipu speaks second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, faultlessly, perfectly he speaks second chapter of Bhagavad Gita to his relatives, just to get them this one like pacified. He tells that you see like living entities come together in one family, just like people come together in a hotel, and same table mein baith jate hain, and then they have their food, and then after that everybody goes back in their own directions. So in the same way, like different living entities come together as a family, and for some time they sit together in the same family, and then they depart. So like we should not be so much worried about these things. The soul is permanent and the body is temporary. So and you should not worry about the temporary things, and the soul is like, and that too, what kind of a soul he is. He is not a soul who's like he's not a person who पीठ दिखा के भाग रहा था, like कोई आके उसको मार दिए. It is not something like that. He was face to face with his enemy, and very powerful enemy, and he fought in the battlefield, and then वीर गति प्राप्त किया उन्होंने. It's like and it is like very glorious to die in the battlefield. It is definitely very glorious to die in the battlefield, and that too in a battlefield where Vishnu is the opponent. It is like really a very great thing. He has really performed a great feat. You should not lament for such a great hero. You should actually like feel very happy. Such a great hero was there amongst us, as a family member. So in that way, like he was giving all the gyan. So this shows that anybody who speaks on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is not a devotee. He can be an asura as well. Good chance. So because in the scriptures there is pramana. Even asuras speak, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And even now, like even Srila Prabhupada, wherever there is glorification of Bhagavatam that comes, immediately what he mentions, how Bhagavatam should not be glorified? Professional reciters, that's modern day demons. So like they also recite Srimad Bhagavatam, not for the glorification of the Lord, not for the pleasure of the Lord, but for making a livelihood. That is not the purpose for which Srimad Bhagavatam should be taken into this one, or that is not the purpose for which Bhagavad Gita should be taken, or like pravachan should be given. So many other professions are there. Why have you made a profession of this one? Like it is like a person is giving this one lecture on some medical subject, whereas he has never studied MBBS, or he has never even took biology in his 11th and 12th, and he is giving a lecture on this one, what is that, some medical science to all the MBBS students. It is like crazy. So what qualification does he have to do that? He should not be like touching that subject at all. So there are some things which are very, very critical. So if at all somebody wants to do something, like some materialist wants to do something in relation to the Lord, at max he can chant the names of the Lord, he can hear from a bona fide source. But if he at all wants to speak about the Supreme Lord, about the scriptures, then he should be trained, and he should be a sincere devotee himself. Without that, if he starts speaking on like the subject matter of Bhagavatam and things like that, so that definitely he's sure to commit offenses, and definitely is going to glide down to the hellish region. So because he will not be able to understand the nuances of bhakti, or he will not be even he will think to master the subject, and he will think to present the subject, just because he has studied Sanskrit, and he has studied some portions of the scripture. So then that becomes offensive. So that is why professional recitation of Bhagavatam, is to be avoided. Like it is not that, it is not going to do any good for people. So because whatever is there, as a conviction of the speaker, that is what, the audience, actually get conveyed upon. So it is not that, simply like the lines of the Bhagavatam, anybody repeats. No, it is okay. What is a shloka that forbids to hear from professional reciters or Mayavadis? Havaishnava Mukhodgirno Putam Harikatha Mritam Sravanam Naiva Kartavyam, Sarpo Chishta Yatopaya. So it is, this Harikatha is like, nectarian milk, but then if it is emanating from the lips of a non-devotee, so it should be considered as the nice nectarian milk, is touched by the lips of a poisonous serpent, and it has poisonous effect. So just because, like Bhagavatam is spoken by Hiranyakashipu, we should not go to hear there. So we should hear from Shukadeva Goswami, or you should, hear from, like, at least a struggling sadhaka. He's at least struggling. Kuch to बैठ के, like, I want to attend the Lord, but कुछ हो नहीं रहा. Still if he speaks Bhagavatam, we can hear, because he's struggling to become a devotee. It is like, it is okay. So rather than hearing from professional reciters, right? So it is like, we see that so the goal is very, very important. So until unless a person is like very attached to the goal of attaining the Lord, it is not possible. Just like that by mechanical practice, it is not possible. And the mechanical practice comes because, like, we are not so much thinking about the goal, or so much we are not keeping the goal in the focus. So then when we chant and when we do things, like when things are not functioning, or we are not able to put focus on things like that, chalega. It is like, how many of you will be like even mechanically also go to your office if the boss doesn't give you salary? कोई नहीं जाता है ना. So because, like, I want my goal. I am very clear about my goal. I am coming here working just to get the money. Like, apart from that, I don't have any attraction towards the boss. I don't have any attraction towards the company. Like, get lost. If somebody gives me a better pay, like, tomorrow only I'll jump. So, like, I'm very, very clear about the goal. I need to get money. And if I don't get money, like, I'm not going to work. So, but then in the sadhana process, the goal is, purification of heart, reduction of lust, anger and greed, and positive attraction towards the Lord. And goal nahi aa raha, fir bhi, like, no. So, like, devotee is like, okay, fine, mechanically chal raha hai. So that means what? So we are not so much serious about the goal. We are not so much serious about attaining the goal. So then the mechanical practice, we will be completely comfortable, with the mechanical practice. So, but then if we are serious about the goal, so then, like, जैसा एक महीना सैलरी नहीं आया, दूसरा महीना नहीं आया, तो like, मेल के ऊपर मेल लिखेंगे, कब देने वाला तुम्हारा मेरा सैलरी. ऐसा करेंगे तो, like, कंपनी का जो प्रॉपर्टी है उठा के भाग जाऊंगा मैं. 2-3 लैपटॉप और कंप्यूटर प्रिंटर वगैरह लेके. Threatening mails will go. So in that way, like, we should be also, like, focused on the goal. So then mechanical bhajan will not happen, right? So at least we will have that anxiety. So if we have the anxiety, so then the mechanical bhajan, we can overcome that mechanical practice. And then, this one comes, some bhav comes. What bhav? एंग्जाइटी है. मैं बाकी सब छोड़ के, like, बाकी लोग तो कम से कम फिल्म गए हैं, like, मॉल गए हैं. आई लेफ्ट ऑल दिस थिंग्स एंड वेंट टू टेम्पल. उधर का भी नहीं मिला, इधर का भी नहीं मिला. So that is also one of the bhav. Authorized bhav, which will not be considered to be sahajya. So कम से कम कुछ तो मिलना चाहिए मुझे, है ना. So, like, so in this way, like, we should try to see that some anxiety is developed, that when will I be able to attain such attachment to like attaining my goal, so goal of Krishna Prema, or intermediate goals of absorption in the chanting and absorption and study of Bhagavatam. So in this way, like, a devotee should feel for the goal. So then there is No, there is some anxiety created. So one time a devotee asked the question that, no, Prabhu, if I don't avoid no onion and garlic, will Krishna not love me? No. So what is the answer? I have discussed this answer many times with you. What is the answer? Krishna is also always loving you, loving the living entity. The problem is we are not reciprocating. No, so that is the very same thing. Like Prabhupada is writing here. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into His kingdom than we can desire. No, so it is the problem is like whenever this is a usual thing. No, like this is the way we are trained. If something is not happening, no, what is the solution? What is the reason? Other person is wrong. No, simple. Like, no, मैं तो सही हूँ. Like, no, हमेशा always I am right. No, how can I be wrong? No, so I am doing bhajan and I am not getting attraction. मतलब, no, Krishna is not reciprocating with me. No, the problem is that we have not understood the sambandha clearly. No, the sambandha is that Lord is very anxious to take the living entity back to Godhead, and living entity doesn't have any anxiety. I know. So that is a problem, right? So like, so this is like always this kind of questions come. Why the Lord is not merciful? Why the Lord is not this one? No, why the Lord is not? No, why He is putting so many rules and regulations? No, why He is doing like that, doing like this? All these rules and regulations are meant for why we should not eat non-veg, why we should not eat onion, garlic, and why all these things? Why all these rules and regulations for bhakti? No, because we have natural attraction to matter, and these things enhances our attraction to matter. So then, how will I ever get attached to Krishna? Krishna is attached to me. No, Krishna is attached to me. He is showing it by the way of staying with me as Paramatma, even though I come to the material world. No, staying with me throughout my material existence. All these things He is doing, and He is sending devotees, He is sending scriptures, and so many things He is doing. So like He is very very clear how He is attached to me. But what am I? No, what have I did to express my attachment to Krishna? So first of all, it is not there only. Kidhar jaake expression hoga. So like so that is why first these rules and regulations are given just to control the senses and just to control the senses attraction to the sense objects, right? So these things which will drag us or which will make our consciousness dull and which will in the case of non-vegetarian, so it is Krishna's part and parcel, all the living entities. We are killing a part and parcel of the Lord, and how can we expect? It is like I want to develop affection towards a person, and जब भी उनको मिलता हूँ तो दो थप्पड़ मारता हूँ, तो फिर एंड बोलता हूँ कि लाइक ये मुझसे प्रेम नहीं कर रहे. ये क्या है, लेकिन कौन सा व्यक्ति तुमसे प्रेम करेगा? मिलते ही दो थप्पड़ मारते तुम, फिर एक्सपेक्ट करते कि वो तुमसे प्रेम करे. ऐसा कैसा हो सकता है? सो like the animals are also part and parcel of the Lord, and you are killing the animals and you want Krishna to love you. You want, and still Krishna is loving you. How can you develop a love and affection to Krishna? It is not possible. Because the very object you want to develop attachment, you are harming that object. So how will you ever develop attachment? It is like a contradictory thing, right? So in that way, like even for that matter, Srimad Bhagavatam says, idam hi vishwam bhagavan ivetara. So this material world, what is this material world all about? Bhumi rapa anala vaya kammano buddhi revacha ahankara mitiyam me bhinna prakriti rashtada. So this is 8 separated energies of Krishna. So if I exploit the material nature, or if I don't deal with the material nature properly, and then I want to develop attachment to Krishna, how is it possible? So I am doing something wrong with Krishna's energy, and I want to develop attachment to Krishna. How is it possible? So like another example which I'm just speculating is that I want to develop friendship with a person. So whenever I go to his home, usko bachcho ko pakad ke like do maar dete hain. And then I say like I want to develop friendship with you. And he's a very gentle man. He's not telling that you get lost, you bet my children. He's telling that okay, fine, it's okay, like I would like to also develop friendship with you, but not now. Thoda baad mein. So you can go. So like that. So Krishna is like having a very difficult time, no, like, so one time my spiritual master, no, he was mentioning in a class, so he was telling that, no, one, if a devotee says that, Krishna, I like you so much, no, I want to come back to you, I want to be there in Goloka Vrindavan, but that cow that is there around you, I don't like that, so then Krishna will say, like, no, you be there in the material world only, I'm not so urgent to take you. And, so when you love me, when you love my parts and parcels, when you love my energy, everything you love, so then, no, it's a holistic Krishna consciousness, so then you can come to me. Otherwise, like, no, you cannot come to me. Right? So in this way, like, one should, the Krishna is very anxious, to take the living entity back to Godhead, than we can desire. We actually don't have desire to go back to Godhead. So, and most of us do not desire. Prabhupada himself writes, most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. So it is many places Srila Prabhupada writes, what it takes to go back to Godhead. Only one word he writes. What is that? Desire. Only it takes desire. If we just have desire to go back to Godhead, Krishna will make all the arrangement. He will send the spiritual master, he will clean the heart, he will make us advanced, he will take us back to Godhead. Kuch bhi nahi karne ka. So Krishna is just waiting for only one thing, because that is the only one proprietary thing that we have, is to desire. So we desire, Lord sanctions and material nature executes. So like, it's only a sincere desire is required and the Lord will make it executed. Right? So that is the only thing that we can possibly do. Apart from that, living entity doesn't have any jurisdiction of anything. So like, apart from living entity, living entity is we ourselves. Apart from that, what is there in this material world? Krishna tells 7.6, he tells that apart from the external energy and internal energy, nothing else is there in this world. So these are the two things that are there. Only the spirit soul and the material elements. And apart from the spirit, we ourselves is spirit soul. And apart from that, what is there? This body and this material things. And who has control over it? Maya Dakshina Prakriti. Only Krishna has control over it. I don't have control over it. And I'm left alone. I'm myself. I don't have anything else. I'm not the proprietor of. I'm just myself. And what do this soul, individual soul, has a proprietary right upon? Only his desire. And that is the only thing Krishna is asking for. So if you can desire to go back to Godhead, so then everything else external, you don't have control of the external things. So Krishna will make arrangement for that. So one cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly clear of all sins. So the material sins are products of our desire to lord it over material nature. It is very difficult to get rid of such desires. Now, like the offenses he dealt with before, and now he is dealing with the sinful activities. So these are the two enemies. Like what is that shloka from Bhagavad Gita? Antagatam papam. Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmana. Te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridavata. So who can perform like drida bhakti? It is a person who has repeatedly performed bhakti. And then he has washed off all his sinful reactions, and then he can perform Drida Bhakti. So that is how this Bhakti, initial stages of Bhakti is working in the way of cleansing the heart, and later stages of Bhakti is going to nourish the devotee by giving intense attachment to the Lord. Right? So these two fold, phases of the Bhakti is there. So one has to perform Bhakti to cleanse the heart, and once he cleanses the heart, after that when he performs Bhakti, it is going to be actually considered to be bhakti. That is when it is actually considered to be bhakti. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Right? So that is the way of this one. That till the time a person is very accustomed to performing sinful, this ones, and having sinful desires. So, and specifically, like Prabhupada is highlighting these two things, attachment to women and wealth. These are very, very difficult problems to give up for the devotees on the path of on the path back to Godhead. And many, many stalwart people in devotional line, fell victim to these allurements. It is not that easy. and thus retreated from the path of liberation. So this also shows that in the path of Krishna consciousness, there is progress and regress. Both of these things are there. So if I perform devotional service in a proper way, I progress, and if I perform it in a wrong way, I regress. Both the things are there. If I commit offenses, I regress. If I commit sinful activities, then I regress. Right? So willful sinful activities will drag us down. And here Prabhupada is substantiating that many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim to these things, and then they regressed. So Bharat Maharaj is there, and we have Vishwamitra Muni, Saubhari Muni. We cannot say Saubhari Muni because he was not on the path of devotional service. Like he was a Ashtanga yogi, and he was not in the path of devotion service. And who else? At least Bharat Maharaj comes to my mind immediately. So like many stalwarts, as Prabhupada mentions, would have regressed. Like even Bilo Mangal Thakur, for that sake, like he was a nice devotee, but then because of something he had to regress, and then again he was brought in back by the prostitute, and then he became again continued his intense devotion to the Lord. So there is regress is possible, right? And then to become restless in contact with women and wealth is not an astonishment, because every living being is associated with such things from remote time and practically immemorial, and it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. So Abhyasa and Vairagya, these two things are very essential. So we may be attracted to women and wealth, but then what sadhana that we are doing to have positive attraction to Krishna. So one has to systematically ensure that we are not exposed to these two things in an unreasonable way or an non-Vedic way, right? So if wherever wealth is there, it should be accounted. If unaccounted wealth means it is going to create problem, and it should be properly declared and things like that. And women, unnecessarily, without any reason, it is mentioned that in case of a brahmachari, like in the traditional brahmachari, he may have to go for begging, and then when he go to any house for begging, so generally the women are the ones who are there in the house, and they would come to offer some bhiksha to the sadhu. And when such kind of an interaction is unavoidable, so then he should be very very clear that I have gone to take bhiksha, and only for the transaction of bhiksha, that is how much is my association with women, and beyond that it should not be. So when the association is done in a proper way, so then it doesn't affect the living entity. But if the association is not vidhi purvaka, if it is not as per the prescribed method, so then it is going to affect the consciousness. It is in that way. It is very important that if at all somebody wants to be associated with women, so he should be legally married, and he should follow the rules and regulations of the grahastha dharma. So the effect of that family life or effect of association with women will not be too much intoxicating. Still it is intoxicating, but it will not be too much intoxicating as non-Vedic ways of associating, like live-in relationship or जो भी है आजकल नया नया terms आते रहता है. Co-live PGs are becoming so famous in Bangalore. Crazy it is. So such kind of an association will cause so much of addiction to the sense objects. But if the sense object is approached in a legal way, as prescribed in the scriptures, it will also act as a way to get detachment from the sense objects, right? So that is a way of this one. So, and then wealth is also wherever wealth is there, it should be accounted, and it should be especially for the brahmacharis, it should be a devotee should see that as minimum as possible should be spent for one's own sake. Not too much is to be spent on one's own sake. So it should be as minimum as possible. And for grahasthas, it should be they should save. Grahastha is expected to save Lakshmi. so that he can become a full-time devotee later on, no. And then otherwise there is no point in saving, no, like, no, not that, no, say I'll save and I'll enjoy later on, no, when I don't have job, no, when I'll be thrown out, no, so I'll have some stuff to enjoy, no, it's not like that. So no, he should save so that, no, he can become a full-time devotee. And he should also give in charity, no, like every grahastha should, no, like mandatorily give in charity. So that is a way, like, no, he purifies his wealth. No, if he associates with wealth and women in this way, no, he will gradually, no, develop detachment from these two things. So otherwise, no, it is going to bind him and it is going to like pull him down to this material consciousness. So, but if one is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, gradually he realizes his position, and by grace of God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself, no, from the state of disturbances, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from his mind. So the primary angas of bhakti, so that is the anga of no, Shravanam and Kirtanam, is very nicely glorified. That if somebody is like very much attached to this, no, like two angas of bhakti, Shravanam and Kirtanam, so he can no, have a good level of immunity from women and wealth, right? So these are all some of the things that are described here. So any questions or comments we can take? Yes, ma'am. Careful, pa. Yesterday, 2-3 times it fell off the mic.
Thank you for the nice class. It's really important of Shravanam Kirtanam and offenseless devotional service. Like this thing you mentioned, like about the desire, like Jiva has only desire to offer, and you mentioned it is like only this much we have to. So means it makes us feel like it is very easy, but another aspect also it makes us feel like very incapable also, like okay then means only desire we have to I have to offer, so I am offering it, so then why the result is not coming, like it makes us feel incapable also, like okay and I don't have control by changing anything around me or like that things may not work, like Krishna only has control and I am praying to Krishna, then like how it is not happening because Krishna has control over.
So one is that, no, are we really desiring? So that is something to be analyzed. So, and no, like when we have desire, so now, for example, if I have suddenly, if I get a desire of maybe like eating something nice, no, I'll go to a place, where some nice feast is there, and so much of trouble I'll take. I'll do so many things to get that desire fulfilled. So there is generally, like this thing is mentioned that the Lord also sees the intensity of the desire. So just like when a child is wanting something and he's just not very intensely crying, the mother knows like he wants it, but he doesn't want it so badly, and she's like continuing her regular duties. But he wants it very badly. He will cry in the maximum volume, and then and then the mother responds to that very nicely. And at this point in time, we have many different kinds of desires. And for whichever desire, our volume is very high. So Krishna first satisfies that desire. So, and then also another aspect is there, like we have different ways of exercising our desire. So now, we have the opportunity to associate with mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. And Krishna has warned us, like if you associate with mode of ignorance, you will get infected by that mode and you'll become like this. And if you associate with mode of goodness, you'll get infected by that mode and you'll act like this. And so then, our desire, one of the aspect of our desire is that, we desire to be in a safer situation. And that may not go in line with our current conditioning of the mind. So then that's where we often discuss the shloka of Shad Krishna Nama Charitadi Siddhartha Vidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintvadarad Anudinam Kalusaiva Jusva. So one of the desire to in a way of expressing to the Lord is that, so I should associate with mode of goodness. That means I should get up early in the morning, take a bath, and then attend morning program, chant, and study Bhagavatam, and do all this sadhana practice, whether I like it or not, whether my mind cooperates or not, whatever, come what may, I have to do all these things. That's the way I express my desire. Right? So just like if I want to get a feast, the way I express my desire is like, wherever that program is happening, like even if it is 20 kilometers, so I ensure that I'm there. So that is the way I express my desire. It is not that I'm desiring, like I'm not getting feast. So I express my desire through a certain endeavors, like that I do. So in that way, like we should see that all this one is done even after doing all these things. Like giving the remembrance of Krishna, giving the Krishna consciousness, it's something very, very personal to the Lord. So, and he's not going to give so easily. He's going to do all the parameter tests. Uske baad dene wala hai. So in that way, like the shloka of Tatyanukampa is very important. A devotee expects the result of association of the Lord and intense absorption in Krishna consciousness, not very immediately. That is one of the this ones which attracts the Lord also. So like when a devotee wants it immediately, the Lord is not very much attracted. When the devotee wants it, like even if the Lord doesn't give it for eternity, but I am completely dependent upon him. I am completely dependent upon his mercy. So I am just simply going to execute the process that he has given. I'm going to surrender to spiritual master. I'm going to do all the sadhana very nicely and eagerly expect hope against hope that Lord will become merciful. And that attracts the Lord very, very much. And then immediately the Lord becomes merciful. So the devotee becomes like, bestowed upon, by the mercy of the Lord immediately. So this is the ironical thing that is there in the process of devotional service. And that right combination when it occurs, so then the Lord is, it becomes like Sri Krishna Akarshani. It just attracts the Lord very, very powerfully. So like that.
Like if you meant like when we have desire, so we will express it through endeavors. But like endeavors, that much endeavor also Krishna is only allowing us to do within our limited domain.
No, we have been given some things, some control. So it's not like Krishna is not a micromanager. No, he has given he has given this body, he has given some intelligence, some aspects he has given us. So which is at our disposal. If we have those desires, it doesn't require the sanction of the Lord. It's like pre-sanctioned, pre-approved. This ones are there. Like in organizations, you have at every level, like a manager, a low level manager has a pre-approved this one of 20,000 tak, वो बिना approval का spend कर सकते हैं. And next level manager is there, and वो 50,000 तक बिना approval का spend कर सकते हैं. And if somebody is a director or something like that, 2-3 लाख बिना approval का spend कर सकते हैं. And so like beyond that he has to take approval. So in that way, like pre-approved, these ones are there with us. Certain capacities are there with us, which are like it doesn't require that much of approval. So, and also some things which Lord also approves very fast. So, but the desire that I want to have intense bhakti to Krishna, that approval takes time. ये तो बड़ा sanction मांगे हैं. It's like it takes some. So now you go to your boss, and your salary is like maybe 5 lakhs per annum or something like that, and you are asking for a 10 crore loan, and obviously the chairman will see like no, ये बंदा टिकेगा क्या, like no, ये loan चुकाने तक, है ना, तो थोड़ा बहुत calculate करेगा and things like that, and ठीक है, like no, दे देंगे, so and things like that. So we are asking for something really very big, asking for Krishna consciousness is like really big ask, and Krishna takes time for such approval. Like that. Any other question?
And same time it is mentioned that he's eager to give you also.
He's eager to give, but so this is like one nice thing that in one of our discussions, senior devotee was mentioning that when a living entity desires to be a crorepati, and he's so sinful, this guy is. He doesn't have any punya to get even 1 rupee. So then what will the Lord do? Eko buhnam yo vidadati kaman. So he is that one person who is fulfilling the desire of all the living entities, and the living entity is desiring, he wants to become crorepati, and uska kuch punya nahi hai. No. So like abhi kya karenge Bhagwan? What will he do?
The Lord is engaging.
He will induce the living entity to perform pious activities, and when he becomes sufficiently pious, so then the Lord will make him crorepati. The Lord is doing so much. So this is like amazing thing the Lord is actually doing. So in the same way, if we at all desire to become intense in the process of Krishna Bhakti, so then the Lord will induce us to surrender unto a pure devotee. The Lord will induce us to render service to a pure devotee. Lord will induce us to hear and chant, and Lord will create our what is that eligibility, and then he will award. So all these things the Lord is actually doing. Like that. Lord is eager, and that is why he is making all this operation. And, so like sometimes devotee wonders, I don't want to become a devotee, so serious devotee. Like, why am I sitting in the class? Why am I attending Mangal Arati? I am not able to understand. Why am I not running away from this place? Because sometime I decided I want to become a devotee. अभी गलती हो गया. अब क्या कर सकते हैं? Now it is too late to correct it. ठीक है. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You mentioned while glorifying the Lord, so the offenses might be this the professional reciters, so they have some ulterior motives, so that's why they commit offense. So on hearing, what can be the offense or some ulterior motive?
For hearing everybody knows that like हम भागवत सप्ताह अरेंज किए हमारे घर पे and हम लोग ने organize किया भागवत सप्ताह why? Because everybody knows they have heard about the case of many stories are there of glories of organizing Bhagavad Saptah and things like that. So they are also हमने organize किया, हमने बैठा हालांकि सो गया उसमें, but फिर भी हम लोग organize किए उसमें and things like that. So they know that this you do a material pious activity as part of karma kanda, and you will get some material punya out of it. And there are people who know that more better than that, if you execute the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam and you have a material desire, it will fructify much faster. So it will rectify much faster. That's how, sometimes Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he expressed that once he was seeing the moon. I heard this. I have not read it anywhere. So I heard it from a devotee, and he told that it's a heavenly planet, and probably many of my disciples end up there. So like that, if you have, so it is clearly this one. So you have various processes. And you have various processes with various power, right? And whatever you desire for, whatever you pray for, that will get sanctioned. Even in the material world is also like that. I've sometimes given this one in initial days of my full-time life. I was put into the legal team, and there we used to go to the court and police station often. So there once when we were drafting this one, drafting a case statement. So at that time, I was telling to my superiors that we should put this, we should put that, aisa argument karna. So then he was telling, see, whatever argument you put, finally there is a small section called prayer. So if your arguments are established, whatever you pray for, that only the judge will sanction. So if you you can tell whatever you want in the in the description of the case, but then whatever you pray for, that is what is going to be sanctioned. So even in the court also, this one is there. The wordings itself is prayer. So your prayer is disposed, that means whatever you asked for is granted. And if your prayer is dismissed, that means your case is you lost the case. Like that. So in that way, you do Shravanam and Kirtanam and you maintain your material desire, and that's what technically called Karma Yoga. So maintain your material desire and perform Varnashrama duties and use Shravanam and Kirtanam. So that is Karma Yoga. Right? So if you have desire, do Shravanam and Kirtanam and desire, may my bank balance become zero, may my house be destroyed, may everything of my property be destroyed, I only want Krishna. So then that is Bhakti Yoga. No, nanaka prishtam, nacha parameshtam, na sarvabhauma, na rasadhipatyam. Like that is bhakti yoga. So like na danam, na janam, na sundarim, like so all this is bhakti yoga. Otherwise it is karma yoga. Like karma yogis also chant and hear, and karma yogis also do like all the Navavida bhakti, and then they engage in the varnashrama duties. So that is karma yoga.
How is it offense?
Offense. Okay, the people, what is that? People hearing for, okay, they are utilizing the this one like transcendental subject for a like a very lower material purpose. That is an offense. And offense, if you do offense, what you will not get? You will not get Krishna Prem, but you will get material wealth. That is a punishment. Materialistic people think that is a blessings, and that is a result of an offense. Result of an offense is that like a devotee is creating some kind of a chaos in this one. Bhagwan bolenge like tum crorepati ban jao, devotee ko disturb mat karo, chale jao. Tumko crorepati banata hu, tum chale jao. That can be a result of an offense also. Sometimes it so happens that an offensive person is thriving like anything, materially. So it is possible. It's completely possible. That is why Krishna's blessings of wealth and prosperity is not considered to be a great this one. In fact, when Parikshit Maharaj asked this question to Shukadeva Goswami, that we see that like devotees of Lord Shiva, who doesn't have house for himself, and they are becoming crorpatis, and devotees of Krishna, who is Lakshmipati, and his devotees, almost always seen as beggars only. So like, why is this irony? Then it is mentioned that see, Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. Whatever is asked for, he is very, very interested in his bhajan, and whatever is asked for, he immediately gives. But Krishna is very concerned about his devotees. If I give them material wealth, they'll become attached and they will become rotting in the material world. So like he mercifully takes off their wealth, and he makes them beggars. So like that. Not for everybody, So like it is only for some rare people. Okay. Hare Krishna. So don't get panicked. Krishna will protect your bank balance. Krishna will protect your material life. Krishna will give all facilities to you. So don't worry. Unless you tell that may it get destroyed, he will not take it. Okay. So any points that devotees like to share?
Hare Krishna. We have to Shravana and Kirtana, we have to have the desire. We have the desire to Shravana and Kirtanam. Then even the desire also, we don't have the for the Shravana and Kirtanam to do, even though we have the interest to attentively hear the names and glories of the Krishna. And the purport, I like this statement that through the medium of serving the pure devotees, so that we can develop that taste and desire to Shravana and Kirtana. And I contemplated that whoever serving in Krishna consciousness in ISKCON, directly they are serving the Prabhupada only, he is a pure devotee. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So the point which you gave us that it is very susceptible that even stalwarts can face a pitfall due to women and wealth. For that you told like wealth should be accountable. It should always taken as accountable, and for women that you should be clear for what motive your interaction is. So we should be clear with that so that we don't fall to those things. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the class. So I like this point that like why Krishna is so merciful, but since we are not reciprocating with him, just like you gave the example, like when anyone like goes to anyone's house and beats his children. So similar thing we are doing some way or other. Like we are not we are trying to be Krishna conscious, but we are not respecting his paraphernalias and his part and partial. So that's why we are lagging. Harish.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I like this point you mentioned about to overcome mechanical bhajan, one should be very anxious, like to question oneself that what am I doing? Am I serious in bhakti? Am I marching towards the goal or not? Another point I mentioned, like you mentioned this point, each and every senses get satisfied if we hear properly. And if we invoke, when we invoke him, we should be in this mood of service. Hare Krishna.
I like the point that we should strive for offenseless process. Any devotional service should be done offenseless, so that we'll develop the taste for more getting advanced in Krishna. Right.
Hare Krishna. So you're mentioning about Prabhuji, like Swakatha, the definition of Swakatha. So Swa includes like Krishna personally and also is like Somshas and his internal energy, pure devotees, and like his pastimes of this material world also, creation, destruction and maintenance, and also you mentioned about the missionary activities, like so that is also like reports and book distribution or so that is also Swakatha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, thank you for the amazing class. So, this point that one has to desire to go back home, back to Godhead, to attain Krishna, and also this point was very important. That this discussion that if I desire something, if I desire for this, then I should express my desire also through my endeavors. If I don't express that through my endeavors for that desire, then Krishna will not be very much interested in fulfilling that desire. He'll make us wait. It's okay, you wait. And so that's why Krishna wants to see whether we are actually crying or we are just you're not crying and just.
Actually speaking, all the time we are actually crying for something. No. So like Krishna fulfills those desires we are actually crying for. So the desire in question here. So that desire is like we are crying for it little less. So we are not able to get that fulfilled.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for such an amazing class. Many wonderful points. So when you're mentioning that point that what we desire, just you repeated just now. So I remember that when Burijan Prabhu came for Ajivana Hari, so Prabhuji asked one question, what do you want? And next immediately asked, what do you actually want?
We have a proper answer for that. Actually, I should be wanting this.
That point struck me. So what I actually want, that is external, I may be posing I want Krishna, but internally what I want. So it's a really important point to contemplate and try to fix the goal. I want Krishna and nothing else. And having that attachment to the goal that I want to attain Krishna and putting that endeavor to show Krishna. So I don't want to do mechanical, I want to do having that anxiousness when we'll attain Krishna, when we'll attain at least to get some absorption chanting what I'm doing. So to come out of this mechanical process, the thing is having that intense deep attachment to the goal of life. So that is very important and I like to contemplate on. Thank you very much.
So this Burijan Prabhu can understand. So when we were serving him, so in between he was like, whenever you are completely not expecting his response, that time he will ask, at this point in time what you were thinking. And then, So like it is, again and again he'll catch the devotee and he'll ask at this point in time what you are thinking. And that makes it very clear. No, I'm not at all a devotee. I'm just thinking that I'm a devotee. No, I'm not at all a devotee. No, what am I thinking? No, it's like something I'm just thinking about. No, so that is one thing. And also the goal. No, I wanted to clarify that in the class, but I could not. So the two statements that Srila Prabhupada makes. So one is that only very few men want to go back to Godhead. No, anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. So that is one statement he makes. And the next paragraph he makes, when one is helped by the Lord himself, the whole process becomes easy. Okay, not here. About the service of the Lord. Where is that statement? About the service of the Lord that was mentioned as the goal. Okay, so anyway, so I just came across somewhere. I'm not able to identify now. So, like sometimes the goal is mentioned as the service to the Lord, attaining the service to the lotus feet of the Lord, and sometimes the goal is mentioned as going back to Godhead. So sometimes devotee gets confused. I should aspire for this or I should aspire for that. Sometimes it is mentioned Mama Janmani Janmanishware, like I only want your devotional service. I don't want even liberation, and I don't want even back to Godhead. And sometimes it is mentioned like one should aspire to go back to Godhead. A sincere devotee should aspire to go back to Godhead. So like how do we understand these two statements? Huh?
If one is desiring to go back to God, and one is desiring to serve God. So service is actually.
So in this two things are there. There can be two desires for going back to Godhead. One is like I want to go back to Godhead, as that itself is a desire, and another is I want to go back to Godhead because I will get such a body which is conducive to render devotional service to the Lord. So to enhance my devotional service to the Lord, so I want to go back. So then the difference between these two things are there. So in the second case, what happens is, if that famous shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam which talks about salokya sarupya sarishti samipyaikatvam api the diyamanam na grinanti vinamat sevanam jana. So it's like if the Lord is calling the devotee, by giving these liberations, salokya, you can stay with me in the same planet, and sarupya, you can get the same bodily features like me, sarishti, you can get the same opulence like me, and then samipya, you can hang around with me, very closely, and sayujyato, like devotee don't want to get that. So but the other things are all like literally going back to Godhead. And then the Lord is telling, Diyamanam na grinanti. If I give these things to my devotee, he will not take it. So, vinamat sevanam, without service. So, if Lord is asking, like, no, you come back to Godhead, so devotee will ask first, no, kya seva hai udhar? And the Lord says, like, no, bahut ho gaya, like, no, tum itna seva kiya. So, like, no, thoda aake aaram karo, like, thoda, no, idhar udhar ghumo, like, no, udhar kafi sara cheezein hai, like, dekhne ke liye, no. And, you take a tour of the spiritual world, and the devotee will say, like, no, I am better off here only. No, I am having service here. No, I'll keep doing this. If there is any services there, you tell me, I'll come. So that is this one. The desire of the living entity is that he wants to be, or the pure, like a pure devotee, and a pure devotee who is desiring to go back to Godhead and desiring to render service to Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. So his attitude is that, like, he doesn't want to go back to Godhead for his own sake, but he is eager to serve Krishna, and he is eager to have association of Krishna. So that is there. So but then he doesn't mind even if he is like kept in the material world again and again. So his prime thing is that he should be having some service to Krishna. That is like the most important thing. And to enhance that service, maybe he would like to go to spiritual world. That is this one. So in that way, like this both things are reconciled. So if the devotee has the desire to go back to Godhead itself has separately this one, so then he will, that is a desire for liberation, so that he will not be allowed into Goloka Vrindavan. He can go up till Vaikuntha, so like that. Hare Krishna. Any other points? Okay.
What should be the desire?
First desire is purification of heart.
The same time also desire to back to
That's ultimate goal. So ultimate goal, like we can have some aspiration towards that, but we will not be able to have that much amount of clarity of that goal. Because what it means to go back to Godhead, so we don't have much of an experience, and we will not be. It will not be such a goal that we will be able to resonate with. So like we should have the ultimate goal of going back to Godhead, but immediate goals are also very important. So immediate goals is like purification of heart, absorption in the holy name, and stuffs like that. So that is to spend or no, that is more relatable. My spiritual masters asked me to chant like attentively. I'm not able to do that. So when will I be able to do that? How will I be able to do that? So that is more a meaningful goal. So like I've been asked to preach in this one. So like but I'm not able to convince people to take up Krishna consciousness. So like Lord, praying to the Lord and praying to the spiritual master, how will I be able to do that? So there is a service that has been given to me that I'm not able to do. So I want to do it properly. So in that way, like praying to the Lord for these things will help us nicely. And then as we make advancement, and then as we go to the later stages of sadhana, in the stages of nishtha, shakti, and things like that, so that time going back to Godhead becomes more a goal. It starts resonating with the living entity, because resonating with the advanced sadhaka, because he has already started developing some attraction to Krishna. So when he starts developing attraction to Krishna, and he starts developing positive sentiments towards the holy name and Bhagavatam, so then going back to Godhead will make some sense. So it's like if somebody asks you that you want to go to another person's house, like whom you don't know at all. So like TK, like why should I go? Like 100 questions we'll ask. So what is the purpose I should go, and things like that. Right now, Krishna is like an unknown person for us. Like when his names are chanted, we are completely switched off. That means like he's an unknown person to us. Kuch matlab nahi hai. It's not like a person whom we are very much attached to and whom we have a lot of affection and attraction to. So that comes. So then the desire to go to his house becomes more intense, and a resonatable kind of a desire that becomes. So now we should we should see the intermediate goals which are which we can resonate with, and which we can pray for, and we can like practically work upon, things like that.
At the same time, also we are telling like Nate Doshastha things, like area of the self-interest to various.
Huh. So for us, Vishnu means like service given to us. For us, Vishnu means like how to chant 16 rounds properly, how to study Bhagavatam every day, how to like preach the message of Godhead, like that. So that is Vishnu for us.
But the second option, like Mama Janman, that is very high level.
That is later point in time. Later point in time. Next. ठीक है. I think it's time. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, such an amazing practical. So many wonderful points to take up and meditate upon. So let's thank Prabhuji by loudly